Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing good. I promised you that Aunty Yaa was going to come on Sika Educate. I've been so excited for the last almost 2 weeks now to have Aunty Yaa talk about some of these issues that we're still seeing in our community. Sometimes I feel like, maybe we're trying to make a bit of an impact, and then other times I look at the stats and what is going on from people I don't expect to hear certain things from, and we're still hearing the same things. And Ti and I, at least, and I know a lot of other forward thinking women have decided that we're not going to stop talking about it until we're having an impact. But Antia, sometimes when I speak to certain people, though,
Mm-hmm.
it gives me hope that yes, it may not be in the droves that we're expecting, but at least one person is hearing, and it
Mm-hmm.
affects is affecting some change in their thought process. So we must keep going. Good morning, Antia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you, Sika?
Not
Th-
bad.
Thank you for the invite
You are
to
very
come and
welcome.
talk. The little that we think we know.
Yeah, so our favorite auntie, yeah, your favorite auntie, yeah, in the house. Oh, auntie, yeah, I know that today is a special day for you. It's particularly why I'm so excited that you're here. And I look at you, I see the things that you do on social media. I listen to you, and I'm in awe of you for one reason. And the reason is that I see a generation of people my age and a bit younger that are standing up for themselves finally.
Mhm.
But I see my Aunty Ya's age, my mom's age mates, and I see that there's a big gap in our mindsets and thinking. So when I see you, I get so excited. But anyway, Auntie Ya, why is today such a special day for you?
Oh, okay. Today is my father's memorial. He passed away 27 years ago. And he had five daughters with my mom. And so one of them has a birthday today. So, which is, kind of very a sad situation. But the way I put it is that, well, he brought a life into the world on this day, and then he left the earth that same day. And our parents, I don't know how to explain it. In my generation, my time, because I'm in my 60s, what it is that we are from a different era too, in the sense that you stood in awe of your parents. Kids could be seen and not heard type thing, but I always say that your parents do the best that they can for you. When you grow up, it's up to you to figure it out. What I've realized in the growing up is that there's a lot of things that we forget to say thank you for, or they did things for
Mm,
us. The Ghanaian system, Openi, there's Openi, and so you're just a child, you follow what they do. So your thought process is not even there to kind of think, oh wow, oh this or that. But now when I look around me, I go, wow, that was impressive for him to make the effort to educate five girls. Another man, a Ghanaian man, could have said, let me put it right here. Somebody's going to come marry them. So for that, this day, like every time some anniversary comes, I stand and I'm like, wow, that's what I say to myself. That is my story, essentially. And the other thing about it too is that, because of how the opening thing that I said, at the age at which he died, I knew that was very young, but I was in my 30s, mid 30s or something, and I thought to myself, wow. But now his birthday would have been on August 26th. So sometimes on the obituaries they don't write, they write the closest, so they put the age that they put. He was only 61 when he died. I'm 62 now. So now I think about it and how I feel. I'm like, that was a young man in his prime. But still, the legacy is not always money. Or I should say legacy. When we say legacy, it's not money. What did he leave you to carry on? So
so if I'm taking it, a thing or two from what you're saying. Your
Mm-hmm.
dad's belief that raising raising daughters and filling daughters with the education that they need, the tools that they need,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the knowledge that is going to make you change anything in your life, is
Mm-hmm.
why you talk about him so fondly and appreciate what it is that he's done for you, right?
Yes.
So, Antia, what are some of the values that your dad instilled in you as women, especially you, because you're a unique auntie?
Well, you know what, Sika, it's the thing is, what I learned was the discipline. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And I'm a firstborn, so you can imagine. It's like, you
Mhm.
know, when other people are running off to do parties or whatever, well, and they leave their chores, you get to do it. Like responsibility is your like your middle name. You have to do it, so you do it. And so for me, even I get laughed at because of time management. If you tell me that I should be at a place at such and such a time, I'm there. But people laugh about it. I remember there's this church program that years ago that we went to, and the person, the owner of the place who's supposed to come open it, the person doing the function had to say, "Oh, if we don't go, by the time we get there, Aunty Yaa will be standing there." So for me, when I hear people talk about African time, I laugh because people might think that I've become like this because I'm in Canada. No, it started from Ghana. That's how I was taught. I say that anytime that we had to go out, there were the early birds who were on my dad's side. I was one of them. And then the later birds would be with my mom on that side. So that thing has stayed with me. If I want to be late to a function, then it means I want to be late. But I usually give myself 15 or half hour grace because you don't know what's happening in traffic or you don't know what's going on with the trains. And when I say these things to my daughters, they smile. Like they're also on time usually, but one of them is a classic delay, so it's important. Like for me, you see, your presentation is, should I call it presentation? What do you stand for? If you want to be respected, imagine going for an interview and they tell you to come at 8 o'clock and then you are showing up at 5 to all flustered and all that. Why don't you get there 15 minutes before time, sit down, relax, go over your notes or whatever it is, and be ready for the interview? So we talk about a lot of these things, but people don't pay any mind. And it's the year 2022. And look at the progress going on in other parts of the world, and our mindset is still the way it is, and people will insult you when you say these things. It's rather sad.
So, Antia, what is it that you think is broken in today's men that is making it seem as if the empowered, educated, uh, well spoken, somebody who has confidence to know who they are and own it, as your book is titled, seem to be a threat to a lot of men, even the men of our generation? They seem threatened by women like you, me, and all the amazing women that we know around us that we associate with. What is the problem?
I don't know. I think I would call it the tin god syndrome. It's a culture. Men, were groomed a certain way, and I call it a script. You, the woman, this is your role. So you can have somebody say to you that, well, even if you're a judge, your office is the kitchen, you know? And it's just the way we were raised. And cultural values are good, but if they are such that they leave one section of the population at the mercy of the other, then I don't think that it's a good thing. We need to revisit it because the way we view women, and the sad thing, I always write this statement, the sad thing about it is a lot of times it's the women who help these men reinforce these stereotypes, you know? They'll come and say all kinds of things, and you'll feel so bad that I don't know. So the teen god syndrome, like a man is treated like a god, you have to respect. Look, everybody is deserving of respect. It doesn't matter who you are, little child, big child, you know. I'll give you an example. Even in our community, sometimes my daughters will say, Mom, why is it that when we meet our people, they only talk to you and they ignore us? We have this opinion, whatever. So like that person standing there, you don't know who they are. You may need them someday. They'll say, "Oh, I remember you. You are my mom's friend." Pay attention. You talk to, like, I remember years ago we were in this church, and my husband, he's very he likes to play with kids and whatever. So, and then they were going, oh, the way, like somebody was trying to use it as a negative. I'm thinking, you people have it all wrong. You people have it all wrong. What is this impending dear and this and this and that? And over here, like everybody just talks to everybody. So this business of a man, I don't know. It's just how they've been programmed, just like how we the women got our script. It's it's very threatening. Look, yesterday on in that discussion I was talking about, a lady wrote a comment and said that on Clubhouse, even the young men seem threatened by educated and independent women. And these are Ghanaian. So I wanted to write something, but I didn't. I said, so it's transferred to the younger generation because they are seeing it. Some are not following that script, but still, it's sad that this is how it goes. So it's that attitude, I'm the man, I'm this, I'm that. So there's a lot of insecurity, there's fragile egos, is what I believe. So, and there's no respect. Like when I read about things from my own country and any issues and how people talk to women, I feel very sad. I feel very sad. And then after all, somebody will come and insult you. So, oh, what about you? No, like things should have changed by now. How is it that it is okay for a man to go and run around because he's a man and he can go sleep with how many number of women, and you the wife are a good wife if you put up with it? What if you get a disease and die? What will happen to your kids?
Hmm. And so, yeah, I am in awe of your dad. I really, really am, because I know a lot of family, even family members of mine, right,
Mm-hmm,
who were not fortunate enough to have that opportunity to go to school. I look at my grandmom, the one
mm-hmm,
that I met. My mom's mom died early, but my dad's mom was the grandma that we all came to know.
mm-hmm,
And even in her 60s, when I met her,
mm-hmm,
you would tell her something once, she never forgets, even though she never stepped foot in a classroom. And it was that mindset then. Oh, the men are the ones who are going to be the movers and shakers. Women, well, they'll just marry them off. So she never set foot in a classroom. But you tell her something once, and that's it. She doesn't forget. Okay. Fast forward. Your generation, my mom's generation and stuff. I saw that by that time some fathers like yours, like my mom's, because my mom's dad had four girls, just one son,
mm-hmm,
and he treated them all equally. Yes, the women cook and do everything, but they also went to school. So, like you, I'm raised by a mom who has had three professions in her life, from teaching to banking. Now she's a lawyer. In her 70s, she still goes to court. Just yesterday, she was
wow.
telling me about how this case. I'm like, Mom, I don't understand a word of what you say. Just let me be. Like she discusses her law cases with me, you know. And so
Wow.
when you're raised by somebody like that, it shows. It shows in how you are. You're so
Mm-hmm,
confident. Nobody can, as for want of a better phrase, bullshit you with their nonsense and their backwardness and anything, and you stand for it. No, I say this from the comments that you make in all of our videos, like when we're
mm-hmm,
talking about these
mm-hmm,
things, the way you respond. And I think the thing that I love the most about you is, why aren't there more like Aunty Yaa in your generation that are like you? Why?
Um, Sika, there's the script that women were given. So, you have supposed to be calm, docile. So a lot of times, if you go to platforms or even you see anything on Facebook and you go, a woman has made a comment, and then you see another comment, oh, you are a woman and you are talking like that. So is a woman not supposed to have an opinion? For myself, right? Yeah, Sika, I didn't set out to be this way. When I talked about the calm, docile, be quiet, I was very timid. I was raised well, but I was timid because I was also following that script.
Mm,
But when I moved and came to Canada, I realized that you're on your own. You have to change the narrative. Like in this environment, for example, with us, right? When you are saying hello to a grown up, you don't look in their face, it is disrespectful. But here, it's considered shifty.
yes.
you know
You
you
can't be
it's like you
candid.
have something to hide, or so you
Mm,
have to look people in the eye, speak to them. And then to certain messages that I got back home, which were very negative. You see, a lot of times when we get up, we are sorry, I say abrofo no nyɛ." Yes, in every society there's good and there's bad, but the one thing that I like about this environment is that they will tell you the truth.
mm-hmm.
If they see you and you are looking nice, oh, that color, it could be the person who hates you most. I use hate
Yeah,
lightly
yeah,
or
yeah.
loosely, but they'll say it. But what you get from your own person, look at it, side eye, this, they look, but they won't say anything. You have to learn. So this is why I'm saying that to me, this is how I think you've transplanted or transported yourself from over there to over here. What I've always said is that the good values that I had, I kept them. I threw away the bad ones and then I picked the good ones from here, and that's what I use to run my life. But a lot of times, our own people, they'll see you and they want to say, oh, what do you brony to do? You know what? It's not about being an obroni, it's about you, the human being, wanting to live your best life and being the very best that you can be. And if you are hearing these messages, oh, you're a woman, oh, you're a man, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you listen to it, I'm sorry, you are hooked. You can't live up by the school of public opinion, as I say it. That's my latest phrase. You won't be yourself. You become a people pleaser. A lot of people don't know who they are, and they
Mm,
are listening to what people are saying or doing what others are saying because
mm,
they are in a group and it's been scripted for them.
mm,
If you stand alone, then they come after you.
mm,
And because you are timid, you don't stand up for yourself and you are not living happily.
mm.
Like, so my generation, I don't know, there's other people. I know what you mean because it's like for myself, I'm thinking this is what I got told. People can't handle people who speak up. When I came to this Edmonton, how I suffered.
Mm,
Oh yeah, you hear things like somebody, even a family member, making comments. Oh, they'll crow the wedding attempt. I said, what? So I can't talk. When you have an opinion, your view, I'm like, Sika, if I don't like something, I have to say it now because it's going to hurt me. I have to get, this is how I live. There are certain things you can just let go. If the person says it and it's of no import, you go, oh, well, let it go. If it's going to bother me, I'll say it right there so that we clear it up. But your chrome for they'll say one yet.
mm.
Because of katasumwemwa, so everything we hide our real feelings, so we don't own it. Speak the truth. Even me, one time I went to Ghana to visit, and one of my dad's brothers came to visit, and he's saying something, blah blah blah. And my mom says, "Hey, as for yeah, oh yeah, Obekana Junior should tell you." Like, I can't help but be me. That's how it is. Look, Sika, I don't understand how I can go into a working environment and be able to say anything I want to my manager, not rudely,
Of
but be
course.
honest.
Yeah.
Because I have this manager, we had these chats. He's very, interesting. He's a very nice guy. And then he's like, he tells people that, um, this is who I am and I'm this and this. He describes himself in some cryptic way. But if you are not feeling comfortable to ask any questions. You tell Yaa, she'll come and tell me. We'll laughing because no, even him one time, like then he left to be manager of another unit. So there's these two ladies, one is new and the other is introducing them. So they introduced her to me, and I'm telling them like, oh yeah, he's a trader. And he started laughing. He told the lady, you'll never get anything but the truth from her. And I'm like, yeah, be yourself. Be yourself. A lot of people are afraid. The fear, the timidity is too much. It's too much. And because we are women, we've been scripted, etc. A lot of us are saying, oh, I can't do it. Oh, this is what's expected of me. Oh, my husband doesn't like this. Oh, this. What about what you like? How, where does it fit in the scheme of things? And just because you have wants or desires, things you want to do, doesn't make you a bad woman.
Mm-mm. And so, yeah, before we continue, I just want to acknowledge the people that are here. Sister Elizabeth Kellers, I see you. My brother Patrick is here. I think he's probably the only man in the house that's got the
Welcome.
bravery to be here. Our very own sister Jo Domensa is in the house.
Hello.
Hello. Uh, Sister Veronica is here. Abigail is here. All of you guys that are hiding. I love you guys all so much. Now, Auntie Yaa, the reason why today was of even greater importance to me that you are here is that in recent times there have been all these stories, and I'm sure you've heard them, of
Mhm,
women that the men, interestingly, are applauding and uh you know this whole story about Kofi Adoma and the wife and how he messed about and
mhm,
got back, and then the wife is accepting of everything he's done, forgiving him as it were, and all of that. There was a video that I watched about the two of them, and just like you, I read the comments because that tells you the sorts of people that are here. And one of the comments went from a man:
mhm.
I wish there would be more wives like her. Like, this is now the new description of who a woman should be in our community, or wives should be. Obviously, that got my blood pressure boiling. I mean, I get so emotional about women being trampled on and being treated as if they're nothing. Because in my home, there's five of us women and one man. You can imagine. From what he wears to how he brushes his teeth, his children tell him what to do. Dad, we don't like that shirt of yours. Go change it. Dad, we don't like the way you sit. Change it. Like, that's it. And that is the upbringing we've had. And people come to our house and they see us talking to our parents and think that we are being rude because we express an opinion. And so, yeah, it's just, yeah. How is it in your house? What is it that you've learned from your dad and how you were brought up that you're instilling in your girls?
Well, Sika, it's funny. Well, let me tell you a story. When I read the caption that you had, tribute of a loving father, I started laughing. I'm not saying my father is not loving, but the African father, he was very strict. So that most of my experience, that's what I remember. But when you had asked me what were some of the things that I learned from him, I mentioned discipline, but I think that I get my sense of humor from him. Like he's in his obituary thing, somebody, I forget who wrote that. Sometimes you see him sitting in front of the TV by himself laughing because something funny is going on and all that, right? But this issue of women, agreeing, or in my household, I don't, you know what? I didn't see that type of behavior. Like, I'm not saying my dad was perfect. He had feet of clay. You realize that after because, Ghana, Memano, they all kind of do their thing. But last week or the week before, I was saying on my platform that when I come to think of it, because we have been doing this series of diaspora living, how to support your child in the diaspora, I said, I come from a family of five girls. It suddenly hit me like a ton of bricks that I never grew up feeling less than. Nobody, not my mom. I mean, my mom obviously should have wanted a son or whatever. That's a natural desire, but she didn't come and say, oh, I wish I had it. She didn't voice that to us. And my father didn't make us feel that way. And you know what? I grew up watching my mom work. You see, she worked at commercial bank. So we go and visit the libraries across the road, hoppity, skip, skip, go get our books and be reading, you know. So that recently I was having a chat with her and I laughed. I said, because of this in our generation, there's a lot they don't tell you, and the little nuggets start dropping. She said that when they were in Canada, because they had me in Montreal, because my dad was studying at McGill at the time, and she goes, "Oh, your dad didn't want me to work." And I go, "What? My dad?" And she goes, "Oh," she's laughing. She goes, "Oh, kind of made it work, made it far, baby." So I think that in the end, he had to agree. And I thought, wow. And I'm saying to myself, so if she hadn't, then what would my story have been? You know? So for me, here I see them working hard, working hard. We weren't always well to do, but there were times that they were really doing well, and then we fell on hard times too. So I've done it all. So when I see, and then too, I see people now, my Barbara tree, and I have this house and I'm doing this. I saw the houses in Ghana because relatives were living in these big, big houses, and so it doesn't move me. It doesn't. What you have up here, a lot of women are doing all. Maybe I've sidetracked from the question, but Sika, it
No,
gets
no,
me. It
no.
gets me that you, as a woman, not even a woman, anybody, your greatest asset on this earth is your mind. Use it. It's not your tongue.
Mm,
If that is what you are using, you become an object. No respect. Nobody is going to respect you. Like, are we so poor? Has poverty become so whatever that this is the only way to get out? How do you feel about yourself as a woman if you are sitting in a house and I did this to get this? Maybe I'm weird or I'm strange, but I have a problem with that. I have a serious problem with that. I believe that um, work hard for yourself, have integrity, be honest. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but these are my values that I live by. And you know what? In women, my personal story,
mm,
Sika, sometimes you get into environments, people don't like you for whatever reason, you're too outspoken. Unam holding crown, they have a problem with you.
mhm,
And things get taken away from you.
mhm.
Okay? Things get taken away from you. And you go, okay, what gives? If you are not careful, you will internalize it and think that bless me, unbelief. I want to see your face, okay? Me too,
I
I want
know,
to see
right?
your
I
face.
also want to see her face too.
So I'm saying that all these things, I remember one time I was in a job years ago. Madame Fubroni had me call her, like this city daycare, this and that, 3 month probation. You think you are going to get the job. And then she says to me, "Oh, the director is intimidated by you because you have a degree." And I look at that director, I'm like, "What, me? What? What are you talking about?" I've been, it can be in church, it can be in workplace, you should get treated, whatever. And I said to myself, this is where I'm saying one of the other things that I live by here is tenacity, grit, and nerves of steel. I said, I'm going to do something that nobody will take away from me. And Sika, this is what it is. My names are on all of these, okay? My names are on all of these. So you can't take it away from me
Brilliant.
because we get bullied. Women have been bullied into silence, and a lot find it hard to speak up. It's
Mm,
the mavericks. You have to make the decision that you are going to dance to your own drums no matter what. And so for me, if you can come and tell me that, oh yeah, brewana then I ain't buying it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your voice is your power. You have to use it. And being silent does not make you perfect. So this definition of this is who a Ghanaian wife. Oh, so the men can continue to fool around. Yesterday, Adwodo was did a program on the man child. You know, like A relationship comes with responsibility. The
Ow.
first one of it is
Mm,
respect and honor.
mm,
If you respect the woman that you are with, you won't
mm,
go and be running around trying to get into everything out there. Bible Mukra, it says, drink water from your own cisterns. You know what?
mm,
I
mm,
marvel that a Chrome Hayati or some people, even some Ghanaians, you go on certain platforms or even they are so cynical about Yamisum. That's a private matter. But for me, the words that I read, they relate to real life. Somewhere in Proverbs, there's a thing about a woman, a wayward woman luring men. Oh, my husband is gone. Let me perfume my sheets, this and this and that. And then he said, the way thereof, it's you're going to your death. Is that not what's happening? Look at this, when you say certain things, you may think that people say you are being judgmental, but if you lose God, you die just like a chicken.
mm, mm,
And so these men, a lot of men are dying because of some of these things and the confusion. Or this one is there, that one is there. And you want to tell me that, oh yeah, I should be a happy wife and oh this, oh that. No, is marriage all that I'm created? Like, do you know how many women are dying inside slowly?
mm. So, Auntie, what do you think we can do to change this narrative that we've been, a lot of us women, African women, have been literally brainwashed into thinking that unless you are married, and even in the marriage, unless you have children, you're nothing. And I go through this. I say this very emotionally a lot of the
Mhm,
time. You know my story. I'm not gonna
mhm,
Let's not go into it too deeply, but some of the reasons why I left Ghana as an adult to come back to England and now here is because of all those stereotypes. My mom and dad, we don't even talk about the fact that I don't have children. They have five other grandchildren they're busy with. It's
mhm,
never conversation. They want to know how I'm doing, how is work. Like they want to know everything else about my other life and not think
mhm,
about me not having a child. But then I have all these other friends and relatives that made me feel back there that if I
mhm,
didn't have children and I wasn't married and I wasn't doing the cooking and cleaning and everything all the time, then somehow I am less of a. I think it's like I'm in the middle between a woman, a man, and a hermaphrodite. That's how they make you. It's like you're less than. How do we change that? What do you think has to happen for those types of things to change?
Sika, you know what you just said? A few months ago, I was saying this too on my platform that I said, the environment in which we live, the women have choices. I've worked with colleagues that they were not married, they didn't have children, they are living their lives doing whatever. Does it make you less of a human being?
Mm-mm,
Like I don't understand. We seem in our environment because of some of these mindsets and these cultural scripts, we are stuck. It's 2022. Oh. Look at the progress going on in life.
mm-mm,
And we are stuck in this who a good woman should be. It's
mm-mm,
almost like it's a tool of suppression. Just be
mm,
quiet and stay there. Don't
mm,
talk. I
mm,
don't believe that, it's something that we struggle for and we define ourselves by. But I'm here to tell you that marriage is not all that it's cut out to be. It's a beautiful thing, but sometimes there's challenges. We all have had challenges. Okay, I decided to rise despite my challenges. So, will you sit here and tell me that my marriage is what has defined me? What if you are not happy in the marriage or something else is going on? And a lot of women, oh, my husband is chasing after this person, and they go and then they are going to fight the woman. Talk to
mm-mm.
your husband, my dear.
Deal
Talk
with
to him.
him.
Talk to him. Why is he doing that? And what is your standard? Misses at all cost? For what? A lot of women have gone to early deaths because of grieving over a philandering man. Is that what your life is worth? Like, really? You know, the story you were telling yesterday about this woman who stopped working and now the husband is, and I'm thinking to myself, how on earth can you be doing that? What is that? Don't sacrifice yourself for anybody.
Mm,
Look,
mm,
for me, I believe, and maybe somebody can say, oh, she's sitting there talking, but if you have a daughter and you are busy chasing men, trying to get men to love you, what do you think she's seeing? If she's
mm,
not a sensible girl who may say,
mm,
oh, gee, what's mom doing? I feel bad. And she thinks that's the way it should be. So then she also groom herself.
mm, mm,
I had a statement I wrote here. What did I even say? I said something about don't allow yourself to be groomed for marriage
mm,
because you have to choose. Don't get chosen. If you get chosen, it is very sad. It can you have to know yourself enough to know what you stand for and what you won't stand for. Yes, our generation, some of us were very naive. You don't ask questions, you don't whatever, just going. Because the fundamental thing in that society, in our society, is that we are not taught to critically think. We don't own our emotions. When you start to say you feel this, oh no, dear, this wake are crying and say, we are so harsh. But look at the trauma all over the place. Look, the insults. Where do you think it's coming from? We grew up seeing it, so we're also doing it. Who wants to change it? Oh, or you grew up learning, oh, a woman is supposed to serve me, a woman is supposed to this. You know, I'm like, for me, it takes two to tango. You give, I give. None of this, oh, I'm supposed to do everything and be holy and be looking, self righteous and I'm a good wife and this and that. A good wife to your early death or what? It's got to be balanced. It has to be a partnership based on mutual respect and love. Is what I wrote on Adjo's platform, whatever was this man child business. Are there a lot of men children out there? Is that what's going on? I don't know. I don't know. It's very sad. It's very sad the way we think, Sika. I don't even know. I'm just when I think about it, like you said, you get very emotional. A few months ago, I'm like, I'll see something, I'm like, wow, why? What is going on? But then it gets to a point you have to separate yourself and say, well, maybe they didn't get the memo. I got my memo and I'm running with it. I refuse to be in this kind of suppressive environment. I don't think I could have lived there too. It's like my son told me one time, he says, Mom, if you lived in the days of the Black Civil Rights movement, I'm sure somebody would have
you'd
done
have been
something.
killed first. I know.
Let me drink some water.
Drink. I know. I know. I
So,
know. Yeah.
you know, you have to leave your mark. It doesn't matter whether you're man or woman. We forget that we were brought on this earth for a purpose. There's something that you're supposed to be doing.
Mm,
I'm reading this book and I've shared it with people like, dare to be yourself. And the way the guy writes, oh my gosh, we always talk in Christian circles about even anybody, you were brought on this earth for a purpose. And so you have to find that somebody that can help you, you help them do their purpose. So you can be in a situation where your purpose gets lost because that person, imagine these controlling men. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do. You are dependent on them for what do you call it? You're dependent on them for money. One of my statements here is become financially independent. When I say people don't understand, all these books, I wrote them without getting a dime from my husband. And maybe if I had asked him for money, he could have said that, oh, we are doing this, we are doing
there are
that. So
other
not
things we
now,
should be doing, and
not
book
now.
writing is
Mhm.
not one of them. Yes.
So I'm here to tell women, yes, I'm here to tell women that you can be and do anything you want to be. Don't let people limit you within reason. I mean, like an understanding man, a reasonable man will talk with you, discuss. But this is why, even if you're in a relationship, you have money for the common good. He can have his money, you can have yours. What you choose to do with yours is nobody's business. But if you're saying, oh, I'm a housewife, it's a man's ego so fragile that they only feel comfortable when their wife is dependent on them? That's a question I want to ask, because it's like our men seem to have problems, that the
Yes.
ego is too much. It's too much. Like, there's some, don't get me wrong, there's some good ones there who are helping, who are pushing, and it's a unit. If you are thinking of yourself as individuals, then you are competing with each other. So it's like, let me suppress you, or your bar, cook and clean for me. I don't know. I don't get joy out of that. They sit in the kitchen for 7 hours because it's my lot in life, and then he's watching TV and he won't even talk to you, and I'm a good wife and I've cooked. Really? Bless beyond below. If we are not here for in betweens, be our what do you?
Trouble,
Yeah,
trouble.
you were two bombs.
Like some of the things when as you were talking, I was just thinking about some of the statements that my one of my sisters made. So there's four
Mhm,
of us girls. One of them is currently in England, the other one is in Ghana, and then there's one in the States. Now, this one in the States has gone from she's done from business to now she's in the army and now she's doing nursing. Okay. She said something to me a couple days back about how she went to get this medical test, women's test done. And when it's our Caucasian counterparts, all they have to do is to make a facial expression as if to say it's painful. And they're given all the medical, everything they need to suppress the pain. But somehow, she said the narrative seems to be that because we've been raised to not show emotion and be tough, they have even gotten it into their heads that, oh, as for black women, they don't feel no pain. So they don't need no painkillers for whatever procedure. So she gets there and she doesn't like anything covering her face. She went to have an MRI scan done and they
mhm,
put this thing over her head and she
mhm.
started screaming because she from right
Can't
from
handle it.
infancy she
Yeah.
does not like that. I don't know what
Mhm,
trauma it is, but she can't
mhm,
handle that.
mhm,
Anyway, so she goes and there are things that they can do to calm me down to have this thing. But
mhm.
because she is an African or black woman, she was expected to just endure that pain like that. And she's learning from her nursing that pain is what the person says it is. What you think, oh, but this is just a little
Yes.
scratch. It shouldn't hurt. It's hurting her though.
We always minimize people's pain or minimize their story. Oh, it's okay, be quiet, it doesn't matter. Oh, your unuya, put up with it, it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, unuya is hurting you or disrespecting you.
And that was a so when you were talking
Mhm.
oh, okay, so that's
Yeah,
what she meant.
yeah, yeah. Seriously.
And the pain, the sad thing for me is that we women who should come together and be a united front and speak from the same hymn sheet,
Mhm.
as you said, are the ones that fight our own selves. Like
Yes.
all these stereotypical things that I said were the reason why I had to leave. I just
Mhm.
couldn't do it anymore. We're all from women. Like the last time I went to Ghana was 6 years ago. I miss my parents. I want to see them. I love them, everything. But I'm not always going to just be at home with them. We're going to go for functions. And then all the other sisters are going to come with their children. And the
Mhm.
first thing that is going to be obvious is that I ain't got none. And that
Mhm.
is always the first
The
point of
thing.
attack. Like somebody I hadn't seen for 30 years sees me, and the first thing that this woman could come up with, not how are you, no, not how is life, what is going on, nothing. So your other sisters having children, are you so senseless not to realize as the first child that you should also do the same? That was the first thing she said to me.
What?
Yeah, not
You
how
know?
are you, not nothing. Can't you
Yeah.
see? Yeah.
I
Mm.
remember, who was it that I watched? I think it was Dillis. She did an interview with some Stacy person or something when she was in Ghana, I think 2 years ago, I forget. And this kind of discuss this same thing. She goes, well, if somebody comes to ask you, when are you getting married or when are you having children? You say, when are you going to die? You know, like
That's a good
real.
one.
Yeah, no, seriously, why do you know something? Come together and say with you, you know? It's like for me, because of the way that we behave in our communities, you always have to be quick with your wit, but get something and crush them there. You know, like, oh, hello to you too. Like who asked for your opinion? I don't remember asking for your opinion. Or keep it to yourself, you know. Or I said one, Ajuodo just laughed her head off. I said, somebody pours something out and you go, oh, would you like to pick your words off the floor? Because I ain't taking it. Like those are your words. I'm not receiving it. People go around spewing their we are such busybodies. We suffer from the busybody syndrome. When I say this, people laugh and laugh. We are busy minding other people's business instead of focusing on our own. There's something called being tactful. Everything we open our mouth and we want to say it. Like really? Just why don't you have one for me? Since you're so concerned. Sister also, seriously, yeah. It's so damaging. It's so damaging. Words, the words that we speak. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then they expect you to have a tough skin and put up with it. No, it's toxic. The way we talk. So, to change this narrative, you have to tell your girl child that they have to believe in themselves. You have to model that behavior to them, you know. And the important thing, one of when I was doing my digging around Mr. Google, one of the important things, tell them to focus on things that are important outside of appearance.
Mm.
You know how we are so focused on, oh, I've got this, I've got that, I'm beautiful, you are not beautiful. No, that is shallow. You're not here just, you know what? I love the phrase beauty and brains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can be, it doesn't even matter. Even if you are not beautiful, you have brains, use it. And it's not for me to judge who's beautiful and who's not anyway. But I'm saying, say, use your mind, work on it, encourage them to read. Like I said, hoppity, skip, commercial bank. Yeah, you can call me that about whatever I was. I'll be reading Nancy Drew, I'll be reading Mills and Bones, I'll be reading the Hardy Boys, Bobsy Twins, whatever you know and like and Ghana, well, if they say write, you have to write and spell it and do whatever. So yeah, that's what I know, so I'm using it. Is that a problem? But it's not your name on the book. Or you think a man's name should be on there because I'm a woman? I'm sorry, we don't do that here. Nope. You know something? The one thing, like for me, I was thinking when you said I should come and talk about this, then it set me back remembering. I said, my mother, oh my gosh, Sika, common entrance, O levels, books. This woman has coached people, trained people, do this, do that. You know,
Mm.
the cousins who've gone through nipa yɛ nneɛma bi a nipa yɛ ade ɔsa yɛyɛ. Maybe right now people have forgotten all that she did, but I remember all level books and books that she went to buy. My classmates were like, hey, you know, only because she was concerned. As for education, you will go to school, you will do it. Yes. So you think that I was going to allow my girls to just sit here and do nothing? No. Sika, the most beautiful thing that I can see right now is that, oh, they're paying for their own stuff. It's not a man. They are not married, but they are paying for their own stuff. Yeah. Last week or so, the week before, they went and took my granddaughter out and they went to do what the pedicures and this and that and took her out for lunch or something. They get home, then the 10-year-old comes, as you, oh, you went without me. So last week, Galaxy Land, they go and do whatever. It's not my money that they went with. For me, that is the legacy. My dad's legacy. He came to have me in Canada, so they threw me back here. I didn't know anything and I came. Hey, dear Nipa Bidi Matemo Kroma. We won't talk about that. But for me, it's good to have money. Yeah, I wish I had lots and lots of it. But the legacy, the important thing is that whatever I got from my parents, I passed it on. And I keep talking to my daughters, never get it into your head that I'm going to sit at home and be a housewife.
Mm, mm,
Even if you are going to have something going on the side, maybe you are home just to have the child and this and that, be financially independent. Teach a woman to stand on her own 2 feet. Because when I wrote my first book, I did a write up. This one here, I did a write up and I said, I'm pretty sure that if I'd asked a man permission to write, if I'd asked permission to write, somebody would have said no, and it would have been a man. So it's like, what is it about females? You know, Sika, even when you talk about FGM, female genital, it's women who force women to go and do these
oh
things.
yeah, oh yeah.
And somebody will come and tell you that, oh, I did it, so I wasn't promiscuous. Who is trying to hide whom? Aren't you a human being? Aren't you also supposed to enjoy sex? So teach them to be financially independent, teach them to own themselves, to love themselves, to believe in themselves. There's a lot of ladies struggling with self-image.
Mm,
Oh, you are this. Oh, you are too tall. Oh, you are too thin. Oh, you are too big. You are this, you are that. Don't put up with that. Honor yourself. Teach them, like, you have to love yourself so that they also see that. And teach them, like, even teach them to have an opinion. Like, one thing said, they should become a media, like, you can watch things with them and say, oh, what do you think of this, asking the opinion, right? And then you as a woman to, like, try to be a mentor. Sika, this thing that we are talking about, remember I said backstage that sometimes we talk, but when you have to bring in the statistics, then it tells you there's a problem. I saw this
mm,
article, right? It's by Little Roses. Little Roses. It's an NGO in Honduras.
mm-hmm,
And this is what it says. It says nearly 1 out of 4 girls aged 15 to 19 globally are not in education,
mm-hmm.
employment, or training. 1 out of 4. Think about it. Right. Okay. And then they said that 16 million girls will never set foot in a classroom. Women account for two-thirds of the 750 million adults without basic literacy skills. Wondering who? The last important point I will make is in some areas, high school graduation rates for girls is as low as 13%. And this leads to more child marriages, increased violence against women, and higher infant and child mortality rates. So if we come and sit here and talk and people are insulting us, think about it. Because a man will say, I'm poor, let the boy go to school. Or the woman, somebody will come and marry her. So that is your script for your life. So we, the adult women, be a mentor. Be a mentor. Like, help someone develop better self-esteem. Like, engage, this behavior of how I was saying that my daughters would say, why are the adults only talking to you and ignoring us? I don't know what it is. And I said, yeah, we are very strange people. And I go, maybe they look at them that, yeah, I don't know. Like, make the effort, or, oh, do you speak tree? And then my oldest daughter will go, well, can't you get past that and let's have a conversation? You see, we need to grow ourselves. Even you need to teach your child how to speak, how to engage in social settings. When you get into a social setting, how do you speak? Are you able to carry on a conversation? Or you just sit there and be, oh, I'm a quiet, docile, good Ghanaian woman. 20 cows per.
It's
Hey.
very sad, Auntie Yaa, like I have a relative who goes up north to Ghana to perform, how young children, I think it's called fistula something.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
force kids out of the down below so early
Mm-hmm.
that the
Mm-hmm.
vagina joins with the back
Yeah.
passage, and then now they everything is seeping everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these kids are as young as 10, some die. And so yeah, when we if we want to go there, this show would become a very cry, kind of thing. Some of the stories that I hear, yeah, it sends chills down your spine
Yeah.
to think that there's a part of this same world that children are busy. I have a friend here who set up an organization that helps women, girl children, to learn how to program, computer programming. Oh my God, the sorts of backlash that she's having. The thing is even
Wow.
free. Just avail your child to go and have this knowledge.
Where
Oh
is
my
this?
Here in Calgary, here, right here. I wish she was here to tell you the sorts of things that, and she shares them with me because I know it's something that is very, she's got two girls herself, and she feels that things that I didn't have the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
have. I want, because the world is getting very competitive, right?
Yes.
If girls don't get into programming and understand what is
Mm-hmm.
going on, life is moving ahead of you.
Yes.
And this thing is being offered to our community, the Ghanaian women, African women, for free. Guess the people that take advantage of it? They're Nigerian. They are everybody else but
But
African.
us.
Uh-huh.
What is our problem?
I don't know.
That is
I
so
don't know,
sad.
Auntie.
That is so, so sad. Even when we can't stir ourselves up to do some of these things, if you want to do something and you tell somebody, oh, let's do this and that, there'll be no engagement, nothing. We're just stuck. We're just stuck. It's like we're suspended in time. We're back somewhere in the 70s and people have moved on and it's 2022. So if in 2022 we're having some of these conversations, what will happen when we are gone? So the same. When you were talking about, oh, hello, Amma, when you were talking about the fistula thing, I remember, I forget how long ago it was, but there was a very prominent Obroni doctor in Ethiopia or somewhere there about, she passed away. But when I read about her, they said she was involved in doing those operations to fix those girls in those kinds of situations. Yeah. So, and then to the other part too that we can do is like, don't involve girls in only the traditional kind of roles. Oh, be you're a woman, so learn how to sew, be this, be that. They can get interested in you, they can be show interest in other things, non-gender. Like a woman you can go and be an engineer, you can go and be a pilot, you can go and be a space, what do you call it, space engineer, who knows what, right?
Auntie, yeah, it just, yeah, it just saddens me. Like, somebody has set up an
Leadership,
NGO,
leadership.
gone to get the money, the funding. You don't have to do anything. Just bring your kid to learn. No, they will do anything else, but that,
and
you
and
know,
and where are we again? Calgary. It's in Calgary.
in Calgary,
Abrochi. You see,
Abroche,
so
Calgary.
you've transported yourself here
Mm,
and the mindset has not shifted.
no, it's still the
A lot
same.
of us, do you know what? A lot of us, we go from work to home, work to home. If there's church, work, home, church. Like we only deal with our own people. We haven't expanded ourselves to have other relationships with people outside of these circles. We need to expand ourselves. We have to encourage leadership skills in our girls. I mean, the thing is, if you're not teaching them at home and they go outside, it shows. Your child, maybe they are getting bullied in school and you don't even know it. There's no confidence because she's watching a mom who is not confident. The father is in control, always shouting, yelling, and then the young boys too are picking up these behaviors. No, you know what? Encourage. I see when I see some of these Ghanaian stories. I become encouraged because I go, yeah, they are at a brochure. Like I think I forget which game. Some was it track and field. There was a guy, I forget the name now, from New Zealand, and he broke some records. And they said his father also had broke those same records or had some story. And I go, oh, okay. So the father has been living in New Zealand. So, and I go, yeah, there's a history there. Good. And then there's this girl, I think her last name is Biney or something, the skater in the US when she was on the skating team. And I'm watching her, I'm like, wow, it's very lovely to see. So, which means that if she's made it on a national team, she just didn't get up today and get on there. Some parent was pushing her, driving her here. The commitment to do those things. If you are sitting there now, I'm going to work, going to work. What are you doing with your girl child? What is she doing? Are you involving her in something? Expanding her circles, telling her that she's good enough. It takes two holes to come and make one. Okay? Uh, they say 1 plus 1 equals 2, but in marriage is 1 plus 1 equals 1. It's not, oh, my better half, my better half. Grow yourself. Grow yourself. Read. Read. Like, you know what? Um, if your daughter is playing with tracks, don't say, oh, you should be playing with dolls, this and that. Leave her. You know what I love about this environment? They see a child, whatever they are doing, they are good at it. They encourage it and they push that child. I did a video recently and I was talking about Amanda Gorman, the young
Mm.
lady, the poet. Do you think she just got up and started? Oh, the day before is when she started writing poetry and they called her to come and give that thing.
No.
You nurture. We need to learn how to nurture people, to grow people. Like some of us, as you said, here's this person wanting to teach coding to. There are people ready and willing to give, to impart knowledge to others, and the community resists.
Mm.
Hey, our issue is big. Oh,
Big, big, huge,
it's yeah, you're
huge.
kind of saying gargantuan osidien soon.
Mm,
It's
mm,
I can't wrap my head around it. Like
mm,
how?
mm.
How? Because I remember even recently, last month or so, we were at a friend's grad party for his son. So we met two other young boys we knew from way back, and I was talking to the mom, and I said, "Oh, I saw them, but I didn't know it was them. They've grown." And she goes, "Oh yeah, they were doing their coding." I'm like, "Oh, good." In my head, I say, "Oh, great." That's thing, like you said. You see, the opportunities um, we have to invest in ourselves and bring ourselves up to speed. The problem we have is that we are not willing to pay money. We think everything is free, you know? It's like me, I do a simple ad about something. Oh, help me, this, that, and they think it's free. If you don't value people or put value on people, you think I mean, like, how do I explain it? You have to put value on the services that you provide. In this environment, you pay. I've paid for staff, pay for coaching. Oh, what? Really? Yeah, because I want to do something. So I will. I want to learn. Eh,
Let's be honest. Believe she needs some smacking this morning.
you'll do the cooking class and we'll come.
Yes. Looks like you know how to cook better than the pair of
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I don't understand. And I talk and I talk and I talk. I'm like, wow. Yeah. See, I'm baffled. I'm baffled because I'm sitting here and he's rolling through my head again. I'm like, wow. I just only realized that I grew up in a home where I was not made to feel less than because I'm a woman. Bravo. And here I sit. Papa, hey, you did some. You'll be available to eat their products. I'm a pa.
Yeah. After the cooking class.
Yes. You need to respect yourself. You need to love yourself. Look, I saw this writer. What's her name? Chimamanda, the
Yes.
Nigerian writer.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, she had a baby girl and she was speaking her language and laughing and she was affirmations. you know? So, how many of us affirm ourselves or affirm our children?
Mm,
When a nim ni
mm,
Jimmy ebi, oh dear,
mm.
unim she, you won't amount to anything.
I know.
Oh,
I know. I know.
yes. Put value on what you want to become. Yeah. We don't know how to pay for things. We want everything. The mindset, yeah, yeah, we're just there. We're sitting there, we are stagnant, like boom. Anybody who tries to go against the status quo, make change, they
Mm.
tar and feather you.
Oh yeah.
But you have to not pay any mind. Like for myself, I said, I've been shut down, closed off, whatever, so many times. Right now, when I'm speaking or talking on the camera, you're going to come and shut me up. It's my platform. I can say and do whatever I want to do. Yes, I'm a woman. Yeah. We should stop muzzling people every time. Keep quiet. Why are you saying that? I'm entitled to my opinion.
Just like you are,
I have
right?
a brain in my head.
Get it?
I can think. This is
Exactly.
what I think about this issue, and I'm going to talk about it. And people go, whoa, what's she going on about?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Look,
I give up.
show an interest. It's not just even your own girls. Show an interest. Any young girl that you know, show an interest in her. Say something. Encourage them. Like, it would be nice if we could have, but like you say, coding, come to coding class now, problem. So if you go and so let's have a girls' empowerment to talk to, will they be interested?
Mm. I know. It's just
Yes, they are louder indeed. That is the thing.
it's sad. I mean, we say how there are no opportunities in back home in Ghana, in Africa, whatever. And then people transport themselves from a place where they claim there's no opportunity to a
Hmm.
place where it's there in abundance, right? I
Hmm.
mean, I've seen women who are in their 40s like me with no education. They've raised their kids. They're now at an age where they can do things for themselves. And then they say, now it's me time. And I've
Yes.
seen somebody go from Form 4, middle school Form 4 back in Ghana, if you know what that
Mm,
means,
yes.
all the way through O levels, A levels, got her first degree and a master's, and teaches in the same university that her husband was the lecturer in. And
There
he
you
was
go.
busy frolicking with students and all sorts of things. And now she has her own place because she's a master's degree holder
Yeah,
teaching in that same university. I've seen it.
there you go.
So it's possible. It's possible if you want it to be possible. That's the thing.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
And so, Antia, before I let you go, though, you talked
Hmm.
about your books. And I'm
Hmm.
very interested that you tell us about a little bit about each of those and what drove you to write each of the books before we wrap up. And we have to have you back again because this conversation is so uh, exciting and whatever for me that I could sit here all day talking about women empowerment. But,
Yeah, someone. It's yeah. Well, the first book is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. You
hmm
can get a copy on Freezing Press and Amazon. And basically, what I say is that, we live in a fast paced life. So you always go, go, go. But when do you slow down? Is your soul crying out for relief? So it's a book of Christian inspiration, personal reflections, life giving affirmations, and it contains encouragement, truth, and strength. Yeah. And it offers solace to the downtrodden and weary. So what it is I take a story, maybe something I saw or something from the Bible, and then I weave a story around it. So it's just full of short stories, right? What I hold to be true, for example, or becoming a vessel of encouragement. What do you think about? And then being the apple of God's eye. So it's just different things, but it's very it'll get you thinking. You know what? I'm a oh. Yes, Miss Sage, you are right. So true. Yes. So it's what drove me to writing. I said I was going through a lot of things, um, challenges, personal life challenges, spiritual life challenges. You know, when you're in church environments, you want to grow, but go, what am I doing? This and that. And I'm just sitting there. I was writing and putting things out on Facebook, but like the typical Ghanaian, you never think that you also can do something. And then my son, I credit all my writing journey to my son. So one day he's sitting at my kitchen table and he looks at me and he goes, Mom, when are you going to stop thinking about all these people and whatever they are doing and push yourself and focus on your writing? So 2019, typical Ghanaian. Yeah, I said I was born in Montreal, but I've been sitting here in Canada and I haven't gone to visit the place. And my oldest daughter, she's like me, up acquaint to travel. We call her, I call us the Wanderlusters. She says, Mom, we have to go to Montreal. And I say, yeah, but we are trying to go to Ghana. You know, these young people just, Mom, I have schoolmates, they do 2, 3, whatever. We'll go, let's go. She planned everything. We'll go and eat here, we'll do this, we'll do that. We went. So on August 13th, today, 3 years ago, we went to McGill University, my dad's alma mater. Oh my gosh. That was, it was some kind of way. Whoa. It was so, and then we sit in this taxi and this guy is playing jazz music. And it reminds me of my, like it was a teary day. So we went to the Faculty of Engineering. That's, well, it was under construction, but I said, oh, okay, this is where he came. He was studying and this and that. We come back that evening to the hotel room, and then I look at my daughter and I said, Nana, I got to write that book. You see, yang chrome for we don't go on vacation, work hard, take the money and go and give to somebody to build those houses. Do you
Hmm.
know that when you get a break, you go for a change? That was an aha moment. I said, nope. I came back and then I called, I looked for, you know, book writers, and then I contacted Freezing Press and I said, yeah, but I'm going to Ghana. And they said, no problem. Because I'd been writing. So the stuff, I just had to put it together. So these two were supposed to be one book, but I separated it out. I sent it
Can
to
I
them.
see the other one with the headgear, not reflection? So, what is the title of that one?
The Beauty of a Woman's Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the one that every woman needs to read because, yeah, there's a empowering empowerment, you know. It's a faith-based book. This is what the back says, but can be read by any woman. It is full of inspiration, motivation, and encouragement. Women are nurturers and caretakers, but sometimes neglect to take time for themselves. This book offers deep insights about the need for rest and rejuvenation. It inspires you to live your best life. It is full of reflective questions for the reader to ponder over and answer. If you don't have self confidence, you don't have self esteem, you're struggling, read this book. It's there's a lot. I mean, it's also the same pattern, you know, stories, but then there's scriptures, and that's what my videos, you know, I take a little something from here and then I do my videos that you see your favorite auntie. Yeah. So it's like who knew? Who knew? Hey, yeah, bro. And this one is refreshing for my weary soul. It's a devotional. Like I said, for me, minyame sum ho hia me, but I kind of like I don't like the hypocritical nyamesum gidi gidi that we do. So this book, even it has a part in here called practical nyamesum, right? So because based on my insight on how we, you know, like somebody will say, "Oh, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," but you are sitting here in Abochiri and you can't drive. You can't drive. Why can't you? What is stopping you? Take the steps. Go take the test. Get your learners. This map out the steps. Right. Push yourself. We say the words, but we don't act on them. Manna is not falling from heaven anymore. You have to use your 10 fingers to work. Yeah, I always say go to the ant, you sluggard. There's a lot to be learned from the ant. Little by little, work hard. Don't just sit there. Oh, meanwhile, my brother is in Abuchi. He's bringing me money. It doesn't work. They also have their own issues. They have their own situations going on. Those who are doing so much over there, it's just a complex, a show off mentality. It's okay if you're doing it for the right reasons, but oh, I have to, I have to. Who says? So, so this one here is own it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guide to taking responsibility and accountability for your own life journey. So basically, yeah, stop for a moment. When was the last time you stopped to reflect on your life? Chances are that you're so strapped for time because the daily grind has sucked it up, leaving no room for this pastime. The results of this is a tendency to drift through life doing just the bare minimum. The reality is that until there's an awakening of some sort, one will continue to feel stressed and unfulfilled. We then blame others for the lack of joy and fulfillment in our own lives. Stop there. Your life is your responsibility. Do you know that? How about you come on a journey with me? Own It is a guide for taking responsibility and accountability for your own life journey. And it goes on and on. So, there, it's the same pattern insight. Value yourself to be valued by others. Um, Actually, let me go here. Yeah, do you know your purpose? Own it. Watch your words. Watch your thoughts. Change is good. Embrace change. Do not be afraid of it. What is your story? Grow, develop yourself. Be bold. Value yourself to be valued by others. Do it now. The long winding road, respect, pursue excellence, positive energy, push the boundaries, seek tranquility, imprints, self love, and self care. There's a lot in here. So, yeah. So, in memory of Kofi, I will remove Kumi Atobra. This is the legacy. Yeah, yeah.
If you have one last word, Auntie, yeah, because I've got to get to work in a bit.
Yes.
And there's a young lady listening to us now who is thinking, what are these people going on about? Like I can see they're so confident, they're this, they're that, and there's a lot of us sisters here, blessed beyond belief. Shilama Joe, Amma Manson is here, Ajodo is here, Miss Sage is here. Like there's so many of us on here. And she sat there thinking, what kind of crack are all these people on? What would you say to her?
I'll say that you are valuable. Own yourself. Own your story. Your voice is your power. Believe in yourself. Don't listen to what people say about you. Don't make that your focus. It's what you think about yourself that is important, and you are precious. Don't let anybody devalue you, and always do your inner work. However, you feel, whatever is going on with you, you feel it in here. If you're honest with yourself, you will know it. Look, don't ever feel less than because you're a woman. Don't let anybody put you in a box. As Ajuodo will say, there's four corners in the box. Try each corner. When it doesn't work, you get out. Some of us, we bent the box. We're just free. I mean, at this my age, you're going to come and muzzle me, tell me not to talk? No. So if you get the memo earlier, it's good. Believe in yourself. Like, you'll have other women putting you down, saying all kinds of things about you. Don't listen to them. Listen to your inner voice. You are precious. You are beautiful. Don't ever doubt yourself. I mean, it happens, but you need to have some skills managing your skill, managing coping skills, like how to pull yourself out of those funks when they come. Otherwise, you'll sink and never come back up. So I'll park it right there.
What an awesome tribute to your dad.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
he's up there smiling down
I'm
on you and
tearing up.
thinking, "Oh God, I know." It's like he did a lot of good work, which is now being passed from you to your children, your girl children and boys as well. All of them know the
Yeah.
sorts of mom that they have. And that's what children remember. Auntie, a lot of people think that parenting is all about the houses that you left for your son and daughters,
No.
the the worldly possessions that you've
Mhm.
left for them, but it's the memories, the things that you say.
Mhm.
Because I sit here now and sometimes when I'm about to do something, I can hear my dad or my mom's voice in my head. And I'm
Hey,
thinking,
mommy,
am I
wait.
losing my mind? It's like, what would my mom have said if this had happened, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sika, my dad always says, "Hey, mommy, wait." One last thing. This gentleman, I'm sure some of you on the platform know him, Brian Frimpong. I didn't even know he lived in Lethbridge, right? And I was in Lethbridge last year. If I did, I would have gone and looked for him. He wrote me a review and he said his 9-year-old girl is reading this
Oh
book.
yes, you told me that.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
can see the impact it's making on her. And I'm like, wow. And my grandson was 9, he just turned 10. And I told my son, well, they're coming over today. I'm going to sign a copy to my granddaughter. She's going to be 15. I said, a 9-year-old read this, you also read it. Even this book here, I said 10-year-olds can read it. I think Ajuodo was saying that her daughter was reading it or had read it. So anything you see, let's get rid of that urban myth or whatever it's called, that if you want to hide something from the black person, put it in a book. Read, read, read. Yes. So own it. Yes.
Auntie,
Thank
yeah.
you, Sika.
Thank you so so much. And this is just going to be one in a series of interviews with you because I think it's about time we have more women and more aunties like you who speak up. Social media seems to have become a place where our aunties your age and young, a bit younger, maybe a bit older, just think, oh, I'm just gonna leave that thing for those young generation. And but social media is very powerful,
It is.
and you having the confidence to be here means so much to me, right? And if there's more of us, more of you, it will make a change. I really do believe that. So
I
please
hope
don't
so.
stop what you're doing. Don't let anybody ever say anything that makes you quit doing what you're doing because you're an inspiration to so many of us. You are.
Sika, if they come to me like they don't know what tree they are barking up, like I don't just quit. I said tenacity, grit, and nerves of steel. If I'm going to stop doing something, it's because I told myself I'm going to and not somebody else. Because you only live once. We all got to remember that this is it. There's no dress rehearsal. Just get on with life. Own it. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome.
Thank you, all who came on the platform and those who watch after.
Yes. Our brother Patrick, if they knew, if we started going into names, we'll be here all day. Sister Jodo Mensa, Sister Shaila, Patrick, blessed beyond belief. Like every single one of you, I love you. Auntie Yaa loves you. We all love you. Thank you so much for being here. Share the video. Don't keep the good news to yourself. Share, share, share. Somebody needs to hear this. And please, Auntie Yaa's books. Anyone who has been here who doesn't own any of these books, I beg of thee, by the mercies of God, if you don't buy this book
Mercies
tonight,
of God.
I'm visiting you in your dreams. I'll be there. You'll be dreaming about me till you buy this book. One of the books at least, but all four of them even better. Please, please support Auntie Yaa. Get this message out there because so many people need to hear it. So many.
Yes.
So many women need this. Auntie, yeah, God bless you. Thank you so
God bless you
much.
too. Thank you.
Yes.
Take care. Bye.
Have a fantastic Saturday
You
and take
too.
care, guys. And I've
Bye.
got to get to work. So bye
Yes. Okay.
bye.
Bye.